Now let's check in with Joe for all of today's sports news.
Manchester United.
Okay, guys, you got the joke. Some teams are crying because they couldn't sign anybody. And some teams are celebrating because they signed very good players that can help them until the end of the season. This video is about the winners and losers of the transfer window, January 2025. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment down below. Take 1 second only to help the channel, and it will be much appreciated. Aston Villa really did a very good job on the market. Axel Disasi from Chelsea, Marco Asensio from PSG, Rashford from Manchester United, Andreas Garcia, and Malen. So 5 key players that can help them fight for top 4 in the Premier League and also fight for the Champions League. I think they can push and get as far as they can. And who knows? Aston Villa are Champions League winners. Yeah, you have to keep that in mind. The Champions League is a weird competition. Not necessarily the best team that will win. Sometimes you can have surprises. So for me, Aston Villa, out of 10, I can give them, well, they got rid of John Duran, but they got Rashford on loan, and they're not gonna pay him 350k a week. They're gonna pay probably 150, So very good. I think it's 8 out of 10 from Aston Villa. Well done. They addressed their issues, and you can see the ambition of this football club. And I think in the next coming 5 years, Aston Villa will surprise many people. So in January, the 10 most expensive Premier League signing this January. Let's see. Marmoush, 59 million. Nico Gonzalez, 50 million. All of them for Manchester City. Khusanov, 34 million. City. Victor Reis, 29, or let's say 30 million. Also Manchester City. Patrick Dogu, 25 million plus add-ons. It could be total package of 35 million. Donyell Malen, 21 million. Timas, 20 million. Philogene, 20 million. Agbadu, 16 million. Munetsi, 16 million. So you can see clearly that Manchester City were determined to get quality so they can start performing now. So they outclassed pretty much everybody. But remember, last summer they sold Alvarez for 80 million. I think they still have some money in the bank to spend. I don't think it's going to be any issue with the financial fair play. Chelsea, Cesare Casadei out. João Félix out on loan at Milan. Casadei is on permanent at Torino. Veiga, loan, Juventus. Ben Chilwell, loan at Crystal Palace. Carney Chukwuemeka, loan to Dortmund. Axel Disasi, loan to Aston Villa. And the incoming, they just brought a young guy, Mathys Tel from Saint Etienne, 19 years old, another midfielder that Chelsea really didn't need. So in terms of outgoing, you can even name few academy product, like Harvey Vale. I can go on and on. So they did a very good job in terms of getting players out of the door. not necessarily all of them the fans wanted to see out. They wanted to keep Renato Veiga, they wanted to keep João Félix, but it didn't happen. So overall, Chelsea fans are not happy about this transfer window. It was a calamity. The club knew exactly what they needed, which was a proper striker, a goal scorer striker, and probably recall somebody from loan because they have so many midfielders already in the books. So why go and buy another kid, 19 years old? It didn't make any sense. But I think in terms of, getting out and, the books are going to be balanced a little bit because you don't have to pay all the salaries here. It's good. But in terms of what Chelsea fans expected, it didn't really happen. And it's a 1 out of 10 transfer because Chelsea didn't address the positions that they needed the most. Moving on from Chelsea to Tottenham Hotspurs. They had a very good transfer window regardless of the players rejecting them and then coming back, like Mathys Tel, who said no, refused 60 million buy. And now he's coming on loan with a buy option of less money than what Tottenham Hotspurs offered previously. So it is what it is. So they have Kinsky. Kinsky was a very good goalkeeper, can play good with his feet. Kevin Danso that they hijacked the last minute. He was going to Wolves and they took opportunity to buy him. And then Mathys Tel that I just talked about is a very, very good player. And I think he's going to have a lot of playing time and develop under Ange. So I think this transfer for Tottenham Hotspurs, yeah, I can say 7 out of 10. It's January, it's always difficult to get players. And the teams, most of the time, they wait the last minute so they can get as much money as possible. I think they tried the entire window. People are going to just point fingers on, oh, why did you wait all this time? But sometimes it's almost impossible to do business because you're going to overpay or you have to wait until the last minute. So I think 7 out of 10 for a January transfer window. The positions that they reinforce is very, very good. Manchester City, yeah, the big spenders in this transfer window. They spent more than 200 million in this January transfer window. Rightly so, because they've been very poor. And since Rodri left and Julian Alvarez also left, they're not doing that good. So Marmoush for 75 million. Which is contradicting the amount that I just showed you at the beginning of the video. But depending on what source you are reading, you can see different kind of amount. But from Live Score, they are telling us that Marmoush cost 75 million, Khusanov 40 million, Victor Reis 37 million, Gonzalez 60 million. A lot of money. But I think they had a very good transfer window, very balanced. It's not a kindergarten project like Chelsea, but they brought also experience. Like Gonzalez, what a player. Marmoush, what a player. And even Victor Reis. Khusanov, still young, made few mistakes here and there, but this is the Premier League. You're going to always make mistakes. So very good window for them. I think this one is like 8 out of 10. Moving on to another club, Manchester United. So they only brought Dogu, Heaven, and Diego Leon. Diego Leon went back to his country in South America. He just came to sign his contract and all that. So he's not gonna help them immediately. Still very young though. Heaven is another youngsters that they stole from Arsenal. This is a second youngsters that they took from Arsenal after Obi Martins. Dogu, very, very good player. in Serie A. So let's see how good he's going to be in the Premier League. But they didn't really address the positions that they needed the most. They don't have really a proper goal scorer. Now, Kobbie Mainoo actually is playing as a striker, which is a shame because they have somebody like Rasmus, okay, and Xerxes on the bench. That tells you the level of those strikers at Manchester United. So I think this transfer window was absolutely shambolic for them, but they had no choice. They had to sell in order to buy. The financial fair play is there, so their hands were kind of tight. Chelsea apparently wanted to sign Garnacho. I think if they sold Garnacho, they were going to sign probably one good player to replace him. It's going to be very tough for Manchester United this season, unless if they start getting some players back from injuries, like Mason Mount can help in that midfield and, you know, three at the back system. But this transfer window was really a catastrophe for United, and I'm going to give it 2 out of 10. Moving on for Liverpool. Liverpool, listen, you can have a good transfer window without buying anybody. Does that make sense? Just get rid of deadwood, get rid of certain players off the book, and just keep what you got. Last summer, Liverpool didn't do a lot of activities. They went for a goalkeeper, and also I think Federico Chiesa, who is not playing because of injuries and lack of form and all that. So they don't really go to the market for the heck of it, but they just go to get what they need. And sometimes the best transfer is just to keep what you have, solidify your team, coach them well, and win trophies. And that is exactly what Manchester or Liverpool are trying to do now. And they got rid of some players from the academy, loan them here and there, try to free some space and help young players to develop on loan. So Liverpool didn't buy anybody, but I think they had overall a good transfer window. So I'm not going to rate them, but they did good by just keeping what they got. And for Arsenal, also 0 signings. And they lost a very, very good youngsters from the academy, Heaven, who went to Manchester United. So Arsenal fans are not happy. And I think this transfer window is like 0 out of 10 for them. Because don't get fooled. Just because Kai Havertz scored few goals here and there doesn't make him a proper striker. What they had to do is to go out there, spend the money, break the bank, blow up a release clause of Gyökeres or Sesko or Victor Osimhen or Boniface. Do something. You have this opportunity to strengthen your team in the January transfer window, and all the excuses we heard is, oh, it's always difficult to do to do activities in January. Bloody hell, United are doing it. No, PSG are doing it. Manchester City are doing it. Tottenham are doing it. Why not you? So they didn't address anything. And with Jesus out for the rest of the season, Kai Havertz is going to give you a few goals here and there. I think they're going to struggle. So I think this transfer window for Arsenal was 0 out of 10.